That was too
Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we...
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Tony, what's poppin' with your brother? How you feeling out there?
was good, man. Eric spoke. Some of us feel good about it.
We got the cup, baby. We got
good
something.
about it.
We got
I'm
something.
feeling good.
Feel good about it, man. Still feeling good from last night. You know what I mean? It's not the NBA Finals, but it's something. You know what I mean? It's a start. It's a prelude. And we're going to talk a little bit later about if the Knicks sent a message to the league. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to focus on the Losers Lounge because the Spurs are in the Losers Lounge. But I can't front this. They're a good team. What do you think about the Spurs?
First off, let me start off with condolences and rest in peace to Wemby's grandmother.
Condolences.
Apparently, he had, that was the loss that he suffered.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team. They got some good young guards. Some good veteran guards.
Yeah. They play hard.
Some guys that came up in the system. Vassell in particular, you know what I mean? Before any of those guys was there, and got the tutelage of like the true tutelage of Popovich. You know what I mean? And Wemby is the alien for a reason.
Yeah, they're a good team, man, and they're going to be good for a long time. They play hard. They got a lot of pieces. They got obviously length with Wemby, but when you talk about Vassell, and Harrison Barnes, like those guys can play aggressive and they got some length. You know what I mean? And they seem to have a smart. They're young, so they're gonna make mistakes, but they have a smart team. They're gonna be a really good basketball team, and they're gonna be competitive in the West for a very long time. Very long time.
I'm gonna have some questions for you about this team and the dynamic and stuff as we get through these comments. So
yeah, no doubt. Let's see where we want to start. You know what? I'm gonna start with this one right here. Ty Harper 2 said OKC lost the Cup final last year and went on to win the title. I'm forecasting that we, the Spurs, will see New York in June. What you think about that?
Hey, I dig it. I'm for it. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Listen, it was a good game last night. I could see it. I could definitely see it. These two teams playing against each other in June. It's not going to be easy. It's not just going to be a walk in the park for either team, because especially San Antonio, they got to go through OKC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's you already know what that's going to be like. But go ahead.
Regardless of like this comment aside, I already felt like the game against OKC, whether they won the cup or just get into the finals was going to be something that could catapult them moving forward this year. You know what I mean? Give them a vote of confidence for the stretch run of the year. They got a lot of things to look forward to. I think they was 9-3 without Wemby. You know what I mean? This was only Wemby's second game back. So they played well with him and without him, even though his presence is undeniable when you know what I mean in these last two games with the minute restrictions and all that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as well. But yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not gonna front. I wasn't as impressed with Wemby last night. You know what I mean? He hit some threes. Um, but obviously he doesn't have the strength to deal with to deal with grown men right now, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? When he goes to post up. I mean, the Knicks, I felt intentionally tried to play rough with him, and they did a good job.
Hmm.
They stayed aggressive with him. I mean, you seen Cat push him down on the floor one time, I think in the first half. When he tried to go to the basket, it looked clumsy and awkward a little bit. You know what I mean? And obviously it's because of his size and his weight and the strength. He's only 21 years old. But I just wasn't that impressed with him last night.
Here's the only reason I would shoot him. I'm not even gonna say shoot him bad because I agree this was not one of his better games. You know what I mean? Like he looked a lot more like rookie, early rookie Wemby last night than he did for the majority of how he's
Yeah.
played this year. So part of it I think is our defense for sure.
Okay.
Um, and I also think part of it was him not making that conscious effort to play in the areas that he's been playing this year.
Mm-hmm.
That has led to him, I think, playing, pardon me, as good as he's played this year. Get him the ball on the elbows of the free throw line
Mm-hmm.
and let him attack from there. He didn't really he didn't really get those actions. Maybe the Knicks pushed him off it. Maybe the Knicks recognized that. I would have to like watch the game again to see specifically. But to your point, the MO has been, be physical with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of people put smaller guys on him as well. Like we utilize all those tactics, and you know, what I mean, it was great. I think Mitchell Robinson's defense and guarding him was great. Um, and Cat did well too, just in like different ways. You know what I mean? But I think collectively we definitely did a good job on him.
Yeah.
But I also think he didn't play his best. Also, you know what I mean? Like, so it was a mixture of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I just feel like the Knicks were aggressive with him. It was hard for him, and he got to a few spots. He's going to,
Under nothing you could
right?
do most like in certain
Yeah,
times.
yeah, he's going to, but I think he has a ways to go. And he's gonna have big nights. I think in against teams that are aggressive, and the Knicks have been playing aggressive lately, and that was one of the things that in pregame teams were like, can they deal with the Knicks' physicality? You know what I mean? And the Knicks out rebounded them. The Knicks had 67 rebounds last night. I don't know. Ralph Unreal said Wemby's a bit overrated. I don't know if he's. I think there's a lot of hype with him. I don't know if he's. I'm not ready to say he's overrated. I think there's a lot of hype with him, but he still has a lot of learning to go, I think. You know what I mean?
But he
And to pick up skill and all of that stuff.
I was just gonna say he's also like there's so much room for growth.
Yeah.
But he's also above the curve already too. You know what I mean? Like so, that's what makes him so scary. Like he's already, I think, above the curve. I think he's already obviously like one of them true students of the game. One of those guys that you know what I mean. Like we talked about it. Everybody running away from wanting to be the face,
Mm-hmm.
and he's one of the ones that would be like, "Nah, I'll take it."
Mm-hmm.
Like publicly, like, no, I want it.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So I think he's different.
I could definitely agree with that. I think he is. I think that he wants to learn the game, and he's going to keep working. I just think he's got to get some strength, which it looks like he has the body to do so already. Because he's defined. You know what I'm saying? He's already kind of defined. You know what I mean? And yeah, he's got to get some strength.
You know, two
That's going
ex
to change his
NBA
game a
players.
lot.
You know, two ex NBA players he worked out with this past summer.
Who's that?
Ex Nick, once a Nick, always a Nick. Jamal Crawford
Uh-huh.
and Kevin Garnett. And I say that to say those guys throughout their careers was, they gotta put on, they gotta get a little stronger. They gotta put on. So I think he's also looking at all right, how do I get that wiry strength?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course, right. Exactly. Because I'm not saying he's got to get bigger. Not about him getting bigger. It's just about him getting stronger. So so players can't push him off his block. Because Kevin Garnett, when he was young, he wasn't as strong, but when he got older, people couldn't push him off his block. You know what I'm saying? Because he had strength. Same thing with KD.
My point was he has the knowledge to identify the guys.
Yeah.
And say,
yeah.
let me go work with them. Let me
guys.
go kick their brain.
Yeah.
Let me go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with that. Kev said if he can stay healthy, he'll be a problem. If is the key. With his length, it may be hard for him to stay healthy. With just his length. Big guys like that normally have knee problems and things like that. Now, I think the difference with him might be is that he's not going to play the game like a regular big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's going to be shooting threes. He's going to be boom, boom off the dribble. He'll do some posts. It's not just going to be like pounding and pounding and pounding on his knees like that. He's going to be playing more like a small forward type of game, I think. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it might be a little easier on his body. He's got to build muscle around areas that would normally give a guy like that problems. And I think he's got a smart team. The Spurs are a smart organization. I think they know what to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
He already has the mobility that you don't see in a guy 7 foot, let alone 7'5". You know what I mean?
Right.
And then again, he works on. You look at the yoga he was doing his first year. You know what I mean? The Shaolin stretches and things he was doing this past summer. So yeah, I agree. I think that might give him the longevity.
Yeah. Walter White said KG said it didn't work out, just talked. Well, the workout will come then.
Pick his brain.
It'll come.
Pick his brain.
Yeah. Endgame said, I think people got mad that when Wemby said the Knicks weren't sophisticated. Truly, it's about scoring more than your opponent. I mean, but it is. It's about scoring more than your opponent. But sometimes it's about not letting your opponent score so that you can score more.
And I think Wemby was honestly referencing us last year, not this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much Knicks basketball he watched this year.
Right. The Public Enemy said, Wemby said he's the best player in the NBA. Get your weight up first, youngin'. Hey, he's got the confidence, though. He's got the confidence. Belt to, whatever. Said, I hope this young team never forgets how the Knicks ran up the score. You think the Knicks ran up the score?
We scored 2 baskets at the end. You know what I mean? Definitely one. You know what I mean? Because Castle said something to whoever scored the basket.
Yeah, I mean, are people still sensitive about that today? It's not middle school. It's not high school. I just don't get it. And I never got it. You know what I mean? For all the years that I've coached, when referees try to say, I've been on my end of being blown out. And when referees are like, do you want to enforce the what's it called a rule? I'm like, nah, man, just let them play. Oh, they're up 20. They can't press. I'm like, no, we obviously need to learn how to play against the press. Keep pressing. Right? We're losing because they pressed us out. Keep pressing.
The
You know what I
reason
mean? All that, I don't know. I just don't get it. Play to the end. That's how I feel.
the reason I say we didn't run up the score though is because they were still, trying to. I'm not gonna say playing all out defense, but they wasn't just standing there so we could run the clock out either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if they got the steal, they would have went for a basket.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just like play ball until the whistle blows. It's just a basketball game. It's not about that we don't respect y'all. We're not trying to. You're in the NBA. You're gonna get blown out some nights. You know what I mean? You're playing against the best players in the world. It's gonna happen some nights. Just suck it up and play basketball. All this, I can understand little kids. You don't want their feelings to get hurt because they lost by 30 or 40. Oh, okay, I get it. Grown men in the NBA just play ball. Who cares? So they came down and got a dunk at the end of the game. Okay?
and I think that's what it was. Like, right, you gotta dunk it. You can't just lay it up.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you can't just back it out and let the clock run. Man, whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, for me today, I feel like, if that's what we worried about, that's crybaby stuff. Just play ball. I don't care. I don't care. It is. Walter White said to cover the spread. I mean, in today's league, you never know. It could be. Let me get to a phone call real quick, Tony. We got somebody on the line. All right. Call you live. Name it where you're from, please. Please.
Salute. Sam.
Is this what's going on, man?
What's going on? Salute to you, Nick Nation.
How you feel about the win last night? How you feel about the win last night, bro?
I feel good. Salute, Tony. A bad fan.
His family.
You know what I mean? It's all right. It's not what we're here for. Good showing.
Uh-huh.
Good regular season. I'm happy for the back of the end. They got a nice little check. Who doesn't want Christmas money?
I mean, that's some serious Christmas money.
You know what I mean? Who doesn't want, especially them at that level? You know what I mean? Christmas gifts cost a lot. Who doesn't want Christmas money?
That's some serious Christmas money, boy. It'd be a nice Christmas this year.
Absolutely. So, besides that, it is what it is. But I saw someone said something about Wemby that I thought was so unfair about him being overrated or something like that. It's hard for a big especially a big like that, to really sometimes to reach his total potential, because a big a lot of times is like a great thoroughbred horse. Once they get hurt, you got to start monitoring them. You can't race them in this race, can't race them in that race. They never sometimes, and then eventually it is what it is. We saw that with the great Ralph Sampson. Sampson was 7'4". This kid is 7'5".
Yeah.
But he plays the game in the Euro way, which is very in comparison to the younger American ball players or people from this side of the globe. You know, they can dribble, pass, shoot, anticipate. You know, their big is no different from their little.
Right. Besides height.
You see what I'm saying? We just haven't seen that on this side of the shores. Someone like that, where in our mind's eye we're going, he should be closer to the hoop. He's not thinking like that because that's just not the way how they play. You understand what I'm saying? But he's when I watched him even last night when he got the ball from the elbow, there's nothing you can do with him. There's absolutely it's not even about strength to me, which as he gets stronger, it'll be a lot easier for him. When he faces and he's looking over everything, your only message to him is keep it high, young man. Keep it high. Because, I mean, it was just effortless. And then when he puts it between his legs and he can get past you or he can get to the left or to the right of you, you're not blocking that. No way, no how. So, you know, I like the kid. I think he has a big future. He's got to get stronger, but I think the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, I mean that's definite. He's got all the tools, to be great. That's without a doubt. And he's only 21. He's only 21, so there's a lot of learning to go for him. A lot of growth, a lot of development.
Hey, AD, you my guy. I agree with everything you said, except your reaction about the win.
Word.
That's the only thing I didn't agree with.
Word. I'm excited about word.
And hear me out though. Because had we lost, I don't think you would have had that same reaction on the loss. So that's the only reason I don't like that. Off the win. You know what I mean? Like, even if it don't mean as much to you as it made to him, as it made to me, or whoever. You know what I mean? Like, just good win, good team. You feel me?
Well, it's not it's you right. You are right because you know me. You've heard me on these airways for a long time, but I'm at a place now in my Knicks fandom where I try not to let the things in front of me keep me there. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I'm already where I need to be. I'm just waiting for the team to either get there or don't.
BK, nothing but Knicks.
I enjoy the journey. Don't get me wrong.
I know you.
I love watching good basketball.
You got a one singular goal. I hear you.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like I've done all of this. I've done all of whether it's the McDonald's Cup. You remember that years ago when we used to start out playing the European teams on a tour and we did all of this. I did Olympics. I'm good. Every which way in basketball you want, I'm good. I want to see. I love watching great play. You understand what I'm saying? I can be objective with my team. I can be objective with the other team, but nothing is going to get me to be like, I'm going to just lose it over the, the mid-season NBA Cup I'm just not doing that. I'm sorry. I
But
can't.
I'm not saying lose it. Me, I'm just more like you got to start somewhere, right? And if you have something in front of you to win, why not go get it and be proud of your accomplishment?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Eat that. Because the I look at it like this. The midseason cup and the whole thing about a banner or not, and it's like when you look up in the rafters now. There's a lot of Eastern Conference, you know, Atlantic
Atlantic
Division.
Division, right?
You know what I mean? Like years ago, it meant something. Today, it doesn't really. So,
Championship coaching.
you know, I
That's it.
wouldn't want to see it necessarily up in the rafters, but you're correct. It's an accomplishment. And it brought me back to something I was thinking of earlier today. And if you've ever played basketball or close enough to people who really hooped, whether they made it or not, what's the one thing that's in their homes?
Trophy case.
Trophies.
Trophy case.
Every damn place you go, you've gotten a trophy.
Trophy case.
Trophy case. Same thing. It's the same thing. So when they gave it to you, you didn't throw it away.
Nah.
You took it home.
You took it home.
Moms was
Even if
proud.
even if it was third place.
You took it home.
Yes.
You know, some people don't have a trophy case. Some people had a big giant floor model TV with the trophies on top of it. But you still put it there.
I knew several cats that to this day, you go I'm like, yo, how do you have room for that?
Yeah.
To this day, these things are like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. But you went from city to city and you really place to place and tournament to tournament and you really got it in. So on that aspect, basketball comes from a trophy type of fine.
That's what you do. I mean,
But
let's look at like, you know, I know it's the NBA, right? High school, college. They play mid-season tournaments. They win it. They put the banner up in the gym. And they have a section for that banner. Now, you know, they have a main section for, you know, the state championship. You know, those other little banners is on the sidewall over here, sidewall over there. But for that state championship, this is the big wall where everybody could see. So, I believe in putting it up. And you know, being prideful about it. Put the cup somewhere in the garden where fans can see it when they walk by. You know what I mean?
Hey, you make a goal, collect those too.
You know what I'm saying? Collect both of them. Word.
I'm not mad at it. You know, like I said, I'm not mad at it. I'm just, you know, I've been waiting too long, like so many of us, to me to stop right here for much more than a hot second. It's, all right, that was good. That was nice. It was nice. I'm past it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just. It's all about the championship, Sim. That's all it is.
Listen,
not in season.
I definitely agree. It for real. It's all about the championship. And if we don't win the championship, we're gonna get teased for winning the cup and not the championship. We know that.
So
what'd you say, Tone?
Well, yes, because
nobody's done it
we
yet.
fall into that.
So I already know the Knicks know nobody's won it. Lakers won the cup, they ain't won the finals. Bucks won the cup, they ain't won the final. The Knicks know that. You know what I mean? So they can still enjoy this accomplishment, accept this accomplishment, and guess what? We got another challenge ahead.
Right. Let it be a confidence booster. That's how I feel about it.
But to your last point, Sim, the reason why people can do that because we're easy. It's so easy for us to take the bait.
That's true.
You know, as soon as they put it out there, well, it's the Knicks first since '73.
Yeah, it sounds like, come
You know what
on.
I'm saying?
What do y'all do? Come on.
We have exactly, and what do? We take the bait. Take the bait. The
I mean,
first
they
time
know
they've
we're
been
gonna
to the
respond
finals since
anyway.
'99. We take the bait over and over and over again. Because why? It's a sore spot. You know, when they were comparing us to the Lakers, I'm like, you can't compare us to the Lakers. The Lakers have championships that circle blocks. They could hang whatever up there. No one cares. You know what I mean? Us, you, we start hearing things like that, and then people in the fan base go, "Well, that's true." Lakers did it. We're not the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a mission, one aim, one destiny. That's it.
And it's one step towards that mission. It's one step towards that mission. See, let me tell you why I like it though. Right? Because something I talked about a while ago, when people were talking about the expectations of the team, is it Eastern Conference Finals, is a championship. And for me, my expectation is that they get to at least the Eastern Conference Finals. Right? And one of the reasons why is because I believe that, when, you need, a coach needs time to learn his team, to learn the ins and outs of the players, to see who steps up, who won't step up, who reacts, and how people react in different situations. You know what I mean? And this cup, at least gave Mike Brown a glimpse into how people might react in these type of situations. You know what I'm saying? It gave him some intel that he can use coming into the playoffs. You know what I mean? Obviously, down the stretch of the season, when you get to some of those games, that's going to give you some more intel. You know what I'm saying? But I think this gives him some intel into his basketball team. He used Tyler Kolek down the stretch of that game.
And it gives him confidence to now try this again more during the season.
Yeah.
Or try something else later in the season that he didn't try. You know what I mean? Like when you start, I don't want to call it experimenting, but when you start expanding your mindset on and not being stagnant in your thought, like it opens up a whole world of ideas, is what I'm saying. So based off of him seeing this with Kolek, now Kolek might get a different opportunity, another opportunity. You know what I mean? Clarkston coming up big. You know what I mean? Like now, him seeing that might win us a particular series. You know what I mean? No, let me give Clarkson this shot to bring us back or hold us down or whatever the case. You know what I mean? So it's all data.
Data. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I'm not afraid to play Clarkson in this situation because look what he did in the Cup. I'm not afraid to play Tyler Kolek down the stretch of a playoff game because he did it before. He got that experience a little bit, So I think you can get a lot of data intel from this whole Cup.
Okay, here's how I view that particular point. The Knicks just came out and played hard. You understand what I'm saying? There was nothing really on the line besides some back end money. So if we're gonna look at the data or whatever, we can say, well, you know what? they took this seriously. So I don't have to worry about when when the money's on the line, when the real money's on the line, because if they took that seriously, they're gonna take this seriously. So
Mm-hmm.
effort is not something that I'm gonna have to worry about with this team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I, I'm gonna. I've not been good to Tyler because I've always thought him and Pacom and whatever they just came along at the wrong time. That we were on the wrong trajectory. He's shown me something. You know, he showed me more than something. But
Been
to
on the
say,
stretch.
well, because he played well here in a midseason tournament is gonna necessarily make me look at him when I don't know if I'm ready to go there just yet.
But where else can you get your intel from besides just playing him in the playoffs? I
No,
mean,
what I'm saying is I'm not looking at it from I wouldn't look at it from this particular, you know, mid-season situation. If I'm gonna be fair and give him a real look when the money's on the line, he would have to be in our plans during these times. It's not just, well, you know, he came in because we had a need and somebody was hurt and whatever. No, it's gonna have to be like going forward, where does he fit?
But he's been in the rotation and he's been playing well. It wasn't like this was his breakout game of the year. I mean, it might have been his best game of the year, but
definitely his best game
it's
of
not
his
like he
career.
hasn't been impacting the game, whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's 15 minutes. And this is on a stretch, like at least a 10-game stretch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have to be, you know what I'm saying, not just a a fragment of the season because
We're
that
only in a
because
fragment of
the
the season.
midseason tournament.
Like he's earning his chops. Let's see how it plays out. We not saying, or at least I'm not saying like, yo, yes, Tyler's getting 15 minutes a game in the playoffs. What I'm saying is this data that is being collected during the season and how he's playing and how he's affecting the game could get him minutes in the playoffs and then not be a detriment or not be because of somebody went down. And
Okay,
honestly,
that's
if we
fair.
being real, this is part of why they got Mike Brown as opposed to Thibodeau. Because me being a Thibodeau guy, I've always said he waits until the very last minute, like no other option, before he starts exploring options. You know what I mean? Like he was dead set on his ways. I think Mike Brown's different.
That's fair. Very fair. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you for letting me rock for a
No
little
doubt.
bit with you guys.
Always, my brother.
Y'all know what it
Always.
is. Knicks family for life.
No doubt. Peace. Yeah. Hunter Dutton said the Knicks avenge the 1999 NBA Finals loss. I don't even care. Watching Harper play like that was incredible. Yeah, Harper definitely played. He played good basketball last night. It's funny because that's the first thing I said when I found out the Knicks were playing the Spurs. Like, oh, you know, we got a chance to get something back. It might not be the NBA Finals, but you know, we can get a little something back.
You definitely said that.
And we can get a little something back.
Let me ask you this, Sim, about the Spurs and their team, and Harper and Castle. They got Fox there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? All right, let me rephrase it as a statement first, because I think for them to succeed as constructed, not saying they don't need any more pieces, but for them to succeed and peak as they are currently constructed, I think everybody is gonna have to buy in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's kind of like cliche, but I'm really talking about the trio of guards and their positioning and pecking order. I think last night might have been the first time they played together, all three of them. Um, or yeah, it's usually like some parallel of either Harper and Castle, um, and then Vassell is usually in the mix, but it's never been the three of them with Fox. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a comment that comes up about this, in particular, maybe blaming the coach. But it's like they have a dilemma because, Fox is proven, right?
Mm-hmm.
All star. I believe he made an All NBA. Um, he's done it for years, but they got to figure out who, are they playing all three of these guys? Whose turn is it when?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, um, and not just from the coach's perspective, whatever the coaches decides, the the players got to buy in for it to be a success. You
Right.
know what I mean? I think that's one of the great things about OKC. It was a lot easier because Shea was there and kind of like proved itself already.
Mm-hmm.
But all those other guys, it don't seem like there's no ego. It don't seem like there's no, oh, I'm trying to be number two. No, I'm trying to be number two. You know what I mean? It's really like collectively, we trying to win.
Right.
But what's your thoughts on that with the Spurs from the Spurs perspective?
Um.
Because there's people arguing, oh, Fox got to go for it to work, or you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, he just got there and he just got
Yeah.
extended.
Yeah. I think they're a team. The Spurs already had kind of a culture set from Pop, right? That kind of a culture, like we're a team. All the way back to Manu Ginobili. What I mean, who could have been a starter in the league, but came off the bench. I think their entire team looks at it that way. I do.
No problem buying in. You
I don't.
saying?
I don't think there's a problem buying into that philosophy with this team. I can tell from the way that they're playing. Fox didn't look to me like he was trying to take anything over. He knows who. He's been in the league long enough. He knows who's who. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The on-
I don't. I
yeah.
don't think they have that problem.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think Fox was being himself though, or do you think he was acclimating? Like to me, sacrifice wise, Fox has to take the biggest sacrifice, right? I think those young guys, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get free reign to kind of go full speed. Number one, you want them to progress as fast as possible anyway. Plus, they both pretty good at their young age already. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be less sacrifice for those young guys than it is for Fox, and I think that was evident in last night's game. I don't think he pushed the pace to what I mean. Like I don't think he played to his strengths. I
Hmm.
think he kind of tried to fit into the team, and he played a good
Maybe.
game. But like this is no shot. I think he did what he did well, but I don't think he was playing to his
I mean,
strength or his what I
yeah.
mean his
I mean,
full.
he's averaging this. He's averaging 24 points a game.
I'm only speaking last night.
6.3 assists. So but I think collectively throughout the season he's playing his game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Just speaking, of the team itself. He's basically on par with everything that he's been doing. 17 shots a game. He's shooting 48% from the field, 38.8% from the 3-point line, which is the best of his career so far this season.
He
6.3 assists per game.
he
So
also stepped up in the 12-game
yeah,
stretch without Wemby. You know what I mean? Where I think he again probably had more freedom to be more of himself then than you know. But that's all I'm saying, because he don't just gotta adjust to Wemby, right? He gotta. What I'm saying is he gotta adjust to these young boys too.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
I think I think he, he's never been to me a temperamental guy.
good
Always been
character.
kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good fit there.
My only concern is I thought it was a great fit with Pop there. You know what I mean? Like, I know this young coach is an extension of Pop, but
Yeah, yeah, he's got a
he
little bit more
he,
fire
he
than
got
Pop.
he got huh?
He got a little bit more fire than Pop. Well, Pop was older,
No,
so
but
he kind of
he also has a long, a long ways to a learning curve
a
to
learning
kind of.
curve to
It don't matter how long you was under the tutelage.
yeah.
You know what I
You,
mean?
you
Like,
got to
this is
apply that
this is
now.
you now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He still got to earn his stripes. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be able to apply that now. Speaking of the coach, there were, obviously questions about his performance as a coach. J Spurs 21 said the only thing I question is why didn't Mitch go with the double big lineup at any time this game?
well, that was limited anyway because of the Wemby's minutes restriction.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And maybe he
it's
just
like,
didn't feel like it would work against the Knicks. I don't know. Because the Knicks could match that double big if they wanted to. By using Cat and Mitch, which the Knicks did a little bit. Yeah. Another question about the double big, Trent Pruitt. The one thing that Mitch needed was go for double bigs when Robinson was crashing the boards, and he never did. That's on him. But again, we got to stop blowing these leads at the wrong time.
big Mitch.
Maybe he could have. Yeah. Maybe he could have went with a double big, and maybe they just weren't confident in it. I don't know. Against the Knicks, I don't know. It's hard to say. And maybe he just has a rotation that he wants to rock with right now, with Wemby still having a minutes restriction. You know what I mean? OG Shrek said at least there's no loss on our record. Time to focus on the real trophy.
As will
the Knicks. You know what I mean? Darth McGough said this team can genuinely compete for a ring this year only if Wemby decides to play like a center, rebound the damn ball, disrupt and block shots. Bro, please don't talk about him blocking shots. The hell are you talking about? Not this late jump BS and no hustle. The one thing about a guy that tall, it's never really going to look like they hustle. Right? Because they take long strides to do everything. You know what I mean? They're not going to, they might be hustling, but it's not going to look like you might want it to look as far as them hustling. It's going to look a little different.
Before we got on, I was watching Max and Rich podcast, Max Kellerman and Rich Paul, and Max actually said something similar. Well, not similar. He was more in depth, but said it looked like Wemby was trying to block shots that he shouldn't have, and not trying to block the shots that he should have.
Oh,
I thought it was an interesting.
yeah. I think that's kind of.
I know the Knicks attacked him more than I thought they would be able to. I will say that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's all kind of him being a young guy, too. You know what I'm saying? He's young. He's going to learn, okay, which ones do I try to block? Which ones do I just try to make him adjust? Whatever. He's going to learn that. He's a young dude. The Public Enemy said, sports media told you the Knicks won the NBA Cup. Then talked about Wendy breaking down over the loss of a family member. That was bigger than the Knicks win. You know, I feel for him, you know, and his family. That's
Do you, I mean, it don't matter necessarily, and I don't know when he was made aware of this,
mm-hmm.
but I heard somebody referencing why would they tell him when they told him. So I don't know if he was told during the game or if he was told like I can't, you know what I mean, if he was told before the game or it had to have been either right before the game or during the game,
Or
right?
during the game, right?
You know what I mean, for it to make sense. I doubt it was right after the game, and that's why he broke down, because it seems as though, like, I'm not saying valid or not valid, but it seemed like some people was, you know, using that more as the excuse of his play than anything else.
Yeah,
And so I just thought that was interesting, whether he was told during the game or not, and if he was, what's your thought process on that, being told something of that caliber during the game? Should that be not like a coach's decision? What would you do? Would you wait?
I would wait until after the game. You know, this is gonna sound insensitive, but it's not meant to be insensitive. But telling them during the game is not going to bring that person back. What can that person do at that moment? If my father passed away and I'm in the middle of coaching a basketball game, what can I do at that very moment? There's nothing I can do. So it's not like telling me, okay, if my father got rushed to the hospital, yeah, tell me so I can leave the game and go to the hospital and be by my father's side.
I mean,
Right? If I'm in the middle of a basketball game, wait until I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't do me any good to tell me. What good is it doing me to tell me during the game? Well, why can't I wait for another hour to know what's going to change between now and that next hour? You know what I mean? Now, if it's before the game, I think I would want to know. So now I can make a decision. Do I want to go be with my family? You know, I can make that decision. But if I'm already in the game, let me play my game and then tell me afterwards. Because there's nothing I can do right now. And it would be wrong, I feel, to be in the middle of a game like this and then leave my teammates. You know what I'm saying?
are you being specific when you say that? Like, if it's before the game, like you saying the game just because the game didn't tip off, or you saying or are you saying like a reasonable window? Because my logic is, and again, I don't know this 100% like fact, but I would assume his grandmother was in France, not in America right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what family he has in America. If you're saying be with that immediate family that's local with him,
I mean, I'm
you
just
know, because I
speaking.
would think
I
they're
mean,
there in
I'm just,
Vegas. You know
yeah,
what I'm
I'm just
saying?
speaking from my perspective as a person. Now, taking it that way, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing he can do, right? There's really nothing he can do. And to that effect, I don't even know if it's good for someone to tell me before the game. You know, if it's right before the game, if it's 20 minutes before the game, why tell me? You know what I'm saying? If it's 6, 7 hours before the game, I think that's maybe a little bit different. You know what I mean? 20 minutes before the game, I mean, to me, that's still kind of in the game, right? It hasn't tipped
Yeah,
off,
that's
but
all
it's
I
in the
was
game.
trying to get to.
Yeah, but that's in the game. But like, if it's 5, 6 hours before the game, all right, maybe let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because now I know and I have time to sit with it. I have time to get my mind together. You know what I'm saying? You tell me 20 minutes before the game, my mind is now, where is my mind and how can I focus on the game? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I definitely want someone to tell me during the game. Let me focus on this basketball game. Then afterwards and after I celebrate and all that stuff, then tell me. Well,
And
yeah.
like I ain't gonna lie, like when I first seen it, I obviously seen the interview, or if you want to call it the interview, and he's crying or whatever. Like I was a little taken aback. Like, hold up, he crying because they lost. You know what I mean? And then he said he just lost someone, and basically shut down the interview or whatever. Um, so I was just intrigued on it. And then I heard people saying like, oh, why would they tell him da 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 da? Now I see people in the chat saying he knew before the game, and if that's the case, then what I mean, which I would believe, even if he knew, he still was gonna play. Like you're already there, you know what I mean. You're already in Vegas. Maybe people use things like that for inspiration, have the game of their life. You know what I mean? It's happened. We've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that, and then the letdown of the loss. Maybe you was already thinking like, all right, I'm dedicating this one for you, and now you lose, and you know what I mean. It could have been a whole bunch of different emotions. I didn't like the people who were using it as an excuse,
Right.
and I didn't, and it's like, how do you even argue with these people? You know what I mean,
Yeah.
without being insensitive. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just was intrigued by the conversation of it.
Yeah. I mean, and it could go either way. You could tell someone and then they have the game of their life, or you could tell someone and they can't
They
focus.
minus somewhere else.
You know what I'm saying? Right. They can't focus. Yeah, that's
And it did make me think about what you just said, the Marbury situation, which I ain't even gonna front was crazy to me because they didn't let Marbury know,
right. Yeah.
and he was in he was in the garden in the you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
watching the game. So it's
Yeah.
crazy.
But see that's something different though.
It, it is. It's 100% different. I still just. I'm not saying what they did was right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how I would. I don't know how I would feel as the person.
Yeah.
And Marbury had a hell of a game that game. You know what I mean? It was like almost divine. You know what I mean?
And
Intervention.
if I'm the coach, I'm taking cues from his family. I'm asking his family, what do you want to do? It's up to you. You know him.
Yeah.
You
They
know how
said
he's
don't
gonna
tell him.
react.
They said don't tell him.
You know. That's what I'm doing there. Now, personally, if I was in a game and a family member during the game and they were there, something happened, well, you better come get me because I'm leaving the game. You know what I mean? So it's
It's tricky. It's
it's
crazy.
tough. Yeah. Bring Kawhi back. Okay. Do that. Said Victor played like a child tonight. Mitch no double big lineup after all those rebounds given up. Harrison Mr. 0% in Vegas. Ball game. Plenty of lessons learned, but can confidently say the Knicks are nowhere near as good. Did like that Mitch used his challenges tonight onto the Wizards. Okay. I don't even have any words for the dude. We won the game. I mean, what are you talking about? I don't even have no words for the guy.
Sounds like what OKC said after they lost.
What they say?
Nah, I was just being like facetious.
Oh, yeah.
That
Right. They're
they're not good.
Um, let me ask you this, Tony. With this win, did the Knicks send a message to the league?
I think they prove more to themselves than anything else, to be honest. I think they learned more about themselves than anything else. Like we was talking with AD, like I don't know the numbers, but our bench was trash in the first half. Our bench was getting killed
Mm-hmm.
in the first half. And
Mm-hmm.
that was part of why the game was looking the way it was looking in the first half. You know what I mean? Like the fact that they came back, the like Mitch's impact off the bench, Tyler's impact, Clarkson's impact, like the fact that they reverse Uno carded, and I think that was you know what I mean. Like Mike Brown learned something, Kolick learned about himself. You know what I mean? That was big for Clarkson. He needed that as well. Not that he was, you know what I mean. He been up and down, but he needed those moments. And even doing it with Brunson on the bench before he came back in, like it was just so much that we learned. I think it was more of a message to ourselves, like
Okay.
more belief.
Okay.
I think the league. I'm not gonna say they not sold on the Knicks, but there's already the narrative is already out there, right? Like, oh, the East is weak. East is wide open. Like they're not gonna get no respect this year unless it's in the finals or after. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're not gonna really get no oh like it's you know what I mean? Like they don't respect the East, so they don't respect us. Let's say that.
Okay.
Like it's almost like an asterisk no matter what.
Yeah. But see, that's where the Spurs beat OKC, and then the Knicks beat the Spurs, right? Um, and I know it's one game, right? The Spurs beat OKC in one game. The Knicks beat the Spurs one game. Um,
If we beat OKC, they'll give us some respect. They'll have no choice, especially if they still on this trajectory of, trying to beat Golden State's record.
but why don't you get since San Antonio beat OKC, why don't you get any of the respect beating San Antonio? Because they beat him because it was only one game that they beat him in.
I'm telling you, it's because of the East and the West. That's why we have identical records right now, right? The Spurs and the Knicks.
Yeah.
The Knicks are the second seed in the East. The Spurs are where 6, 5.
Well, but here's the thing.
I'm not making
No,
this
no.
argument for myself. I'm telling you what
Yeah.
like the way that people think.
But here's the thing, because you're right. Okay. The Knicks are second, but also the second team in the Western Conference has the same record as the Knicks, right? Well, the Nuggets are 19-6. The Knicks are 18-7. When you get down to,
Trust me, I know, Sam.
but listen, in the Western Conference, you get down to the seventh seed is 14-12. Seventh seed in the Eastern Conference is 15-12. The eighth seed is 14-12. The ninth seed is 15-13. Right, in the West, you know what I mean. It's the seventh seed is 14-12. When you get to the eighth, ninth seed, they're 13-14.
Sam, I'm telling you,
Same,
I've been, especially since I've been under the weather for like the week. I've been watching so many different people talk about sports and talk about the NBA, like not even team specific, but just like general NBA media people. Like, yeah, yeah, the Knicks will be in the finals, but I don't think they could beat Houston, Denver, OKC. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? They'll name like 5 teams. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so
Yeah. I get
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Like,
I get it.
they really think that.
I get it. But we're gonna shock the shit out of them. Watch. We're gonna shock them. I mean, I think did they send a message to the league? No, because I think you're right. First of all, I don't think the cup. I mean, just with our conversations tonight, I don't think the cup has that much respect yet. You know what I mean? So I think it becomes hard to send a message when you win something that doesn't have that much respect. You know what I mean? And the fact that it's single elimination, you know, when you in the playoffs, you're talking about beating a team in a series. You know, so I don't know if the Knicks necessarily sent a message to the league, but I think they did put some people on notice to say, hey, you know, when it comes time to it, all right, you know, San Antonio, they're good, but when we needed to, we flexed our muscle and they couldn't handle us. You know what I mean? I mean, it was what we win the game by? What was the score?
Um, I
I
can't
think
remember.
we won by double digits, right?
Yeah, I feel like saying 15, but I thought maybe I would have been stretching if I said that. But I'm pretty sure it was double digits.
Let me see. We beat them 124, 113. We beat them out by 11, and we actually went down to them by 11
By four.
at some point in the
Oh,
game.
4 in the fourth though.
Oh, in the fourth, right? But we, you know, their biggest lead was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest lead was 12, but we won the game by 11, right? And that 11-point lead that they had was in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a 22-point turnaround. So
Mm-hmm.
we dominated the fourth quarter. When we needed to dominate, we dominated over them.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, 30 something to 12. Like, yeah, we dominated.
Yeah.
It was something crazy.
When we needed to dominate, we dominated. You know what I mean? So, you know, people, you know, people they could say what they want, I guess. Um,
I'm kind of showing my hand here, but you know what? I got my I got a computer now. You know what I mean? So I'm ready to do some content. But I'm gonna ask you this one because when you asked me, did they send a message to the league? I thought you was saying something totally different. But
okay.
like initially, not right now while we were speaking, but initially, um, my question is it official? The Knicks said they're not putting the banner up because I keep hearing that. Like they said they're
I
not.
was just looking on New York Post, and it looks like they're not putting the banner up.
Okay, so it is official. I wasn't
I
sure
think.
if they put a statement out saying blah 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 or what. Um, and that's where I thought you was asking. Was that a statement?
Mm,
And my
mm.
show was gonna be, um, you know, is it a bad look for them not putting that banner up and saying we're not putting the banner up?
I think it is.
And I kind of agree.
I think it
I
is.
kind of agree.
You know, I mean, I think they are trying to send a message to their fans that this isn't what
Mm-hmm.
we're not satisfied here, right? I think they're trying to send that message. But if I'm the league, I'm a
Yeah,
little upset at that.
that's what I'm talking about. When you said send a message, I thought I that's where
Oh,
my
okay.
brain went because I'm like they sending a message, and it's not a good message. It's
That's
not
not a
going to
good
be well
message,
received
right?
at all.
Especially when the league is they're trying to
And
push this tournament, turn this tournament into something, and you're not going to hang the banner. You know, that's saying that we don't respect it.
now I don't believe this to be the case. I don't believe this to be the case. Like even if you do like a psychoanalyst on it, I don't believe this to be the case. But I pray that I'm right. That James Dolan had nothing to do with this. I
Mm.
hope this was not his decision. This wasn't like some kind of pushback thing against the league because he likes to, you know what I mean? Like he likes to be the opposer to where everybody else is agreeing with. I
Yeah,
don't think it was him. I hope there's never any reports about it being. I hope this was a mistake by Leon Rose, saying trying to stick with that comment that statement early in the
yeah,
year
right,
at one singular goal.
right.
But yeah, this cup has been such a success. Like and again, non taking my bias out of it, this year in particular, the cup has been a success. Like you could see it watching all the games. You know what I mean? People wanted to win
Right.
round after round. You know what I mean? They were fighting for something. And then you look at the last two winners, and they put their banners up, right?
Yeah.
They didn't put their nose up to this.
Right.
So it's like who I don't want
And
to be a Debbie
you
Downer, but
know,
who are you to you know what I mean?
yeah, and you know,
I don't like it.
if you're not gonna put the banner up, right, then why even play?
And that's what I was gonna say.
Why even play?
That's what I was gonna say. I was actually gonna say it when AD was on the phone, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to tip my hat again. But why? Like, if they would have got to the game, to the final game, and say this game don't count for our record, it's not a win. You know what I mean? If we win it, we don't want the banner. Forfeit. Y'all get the game. Now again,
Exactly.
that probably would have been way more disrespectful to the league. But if that's basically what you're doing,
But that's right.
you know what I mean? Like again, I didn't like the statement in the beginning of the year that so singular goal, like that could have been put together different. And this I don't like this.
Yeah.
Or I would like to see a statement, because maybe the statement is we're not gonna put the banner up now. We want to play the year out and put both of them up. I respect that. You know what I mean? Or we gonna put it up at when the season is completely done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'd rather them say that. We don't need that distraction right now. We'll put it up when the year's over.
Yeah. I can understand that. I can definitely
But come
understand
on.
that. Right. You know what? We'll when we win the championship, we'll put it up. I can definitely understand that. You know.
And they can still do that. And that's what I
And they
hope.
can still do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I hope they say. All right, we'll put them both up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like big brother, little brother. And like I said, that hasn't been done yet. It's only the third year of the cup, but you know what I mean? If that's it, now you come in and get both, you gotta put them both up now. Because now
Yeah.
that's a feat that hasn't been done. And it's something for not only you to strive for, but other teams to strive to do again.
Yeah.
Win them both.
So I'm reading, what is this? CBS Sports. Yep, they're saying the Knicks will not follow suit of the Lakers and the Bucks. It's understandable given they want to focus on winning the bigger title, but perhaps that might change if the league offers twists the Knicks' arm to recognize their championship, given they want to bring so much positive attention to the NBA Cup as possible. For now, the Knicks will celebrate the win without much fanfare and hope it can propel them to the NBA Finals win in June.
See, we knew the message behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I just don't like the optics of it. You know what I mean? Like you and you don't want the league mad at you.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
You want the league on your side, so
You want the Warriors-
I don't know. Now I can understand not hanging it up until the end of the year,
yeah,
the beginning of next year, something like that.
yeah.
I can
Let the
definitely
year
dig
play
that.
out.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying anything right now, just let it play out. I can definitely get that. You know what I mean? You don't gotta hang it up right now.
Shuttle, both teams they put their banners up. The Lakers and Bucks both put their
Yeah,
banners.
yeah. The Lakers were reluctant, it said, to put
Yeah,
it up.
and they started. They you know what I mean? Like they started that reluctant. You know, yeah, we don't really want to. We value real champions. But y'all did it. They did it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think they should. I think if I am James Dolan or whoever, I think I'm talking to the players. Let me talk to the players and see, because, the players, they went out there and battled for it, not James Dolan.
Yeah, but they asked. Oh, you saying if it was the Dolan decision?
Yeah, if it was Dolan's or whoever, Leon Rose, see what the players want.
I think it was Rose. I think it was Rose. I really do, because it fits in with the statement in the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then what you just read about is like we want the real chip. We get all that.
Right.
And
I
even
get
the
that.
players, they asked a bunch of players, whoa, should banner up or down? Up. Oh, that's their decision. You know what I mean? Like even Cat, he's like, yeah, man, I'm glad I got the hat and the T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like downplay it as much as you want, but don't disrespect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Find a way. I don't know. Maybe they're saying they won't hang it in the garden. Maybe they'll hang it somewhere in the hallways of the garden. Something like that.
Okay. Or they could just say it'll be in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Building.
It'll be on display with the trophy.
Yeah.
You're not putting a trophy up there, so boom.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Wherever
Something
the
like
trophy
that.
at,
Something like
it'll
that.
be right there next to it on a.
Now I can guarantee you, if they win the championship, they'll put both of them on.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Right next to each other, big brother, little brother, be like the Knicks and the Nets.
Yeah. Word. The Public Enemy said, okay, so what if we put out the playoffs, but then next season win another cup?
Oh, now you can't value it now. You already devalued it. That's the
devalued
thing.
it. Yeah.
Then it's gonna be like it's gonna be a hall. They're gonna just have a hall of cup banners.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a mistake. I think you put the banner up wherever you're gonna put it up. You put it up, but you just send a message. You know what? We're not gonna put it up now. Maybe we'll put it up at the end of the season, or when preseason starts, your first preseason game, you put the banner up. You know what I'm saying? You don't win the championship, you put the banner up first preseason game or something like that instead of regular season game. It's ways to do it. It's still respectful.
I'm taking it home.
What? Right.
I mean, I would have respected that. I want that, Joe.
But it's ways to do it that's still respectful. You know what I'm saying? It's ways to do it that send a message that we want something bigger, but doesn't disrespect the cup.
Mm-hmm. I ain't mean to damper us with my Knicks and Bruises topic.
We'll see though. We'll see if they decide. We'll see how it goes.
It had me triggered all day, Sim, when I was hearing these reports of no banner.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, man, it's late. Head about. I think tomorrow though, we're gonna try to do this Nas and DJ Premier album review, Light Years album review on the front stoop. So join us there, ladies and gentlemen. If you follow the stoop, if you're subscribed to the stoop, you'll get the notification. So yeah.
And
gonna jump out of here tonight.
If you free Sim after that, I'm gonna probably do a little stream. You know what I mean? For my birthday. It'll be after midnight, you know what I mean? So just a little 20-30 minute stream.
Yeah.
I got a couple more topics that I wrote down. You know what I mean? I threw that one out there, but
yeah,
I got some questions about this as well. So
no doubt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. You know what I mean? We're gonna head up out of here. Be peaceful, have a good one, and yeah, we'll definitely see you tomorrow. We're about.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.